Hey, yo, hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing, of course, my comic load for the week. It's been a crazy week, and you must forgive me, I am barely functional right now. I just took a power nap, a savage power nap, because I got home from work. Today's Saturday, yes I had to work Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday, yes I'm working Sunday. It's a crazy work week. Two people at work that work under me got promoted in the past month. At the beginning of the month, it was one of my trainees became an assistant manager, and last week one of my assistant managers, I have two, one of my assistant managers got promoted to branch manager. So that means I'm down 2 people. In addition to that, all my service agents have gone back to school. So I am like 5-6 people deep on being understaffed, and it's been brutal. So I've been working this whole week, working this weekend, and now working this next week coming up. The only reprieve is we got a new assistant manager, and he's going to come in, and hopefully that alleviates stuff, but work has just been crazy. And of course, home has been crazy too. My family got hit with a bug. My son was sick. My eldest son was sick. Just red lantern puking all over the place. We were actually at Chili's, and he puked all over my leg while at Chili's. I didn't know how to react. I was just like, the kid just literally looked at me, just went, right on me. And then my youngest son was spitting up a little bit more than usual. He's doing well now. And then my wife was sick, so everyone got sick. But your boy here, knock on comic books, it's not going to happen. I've been hitting those airborns. Not like it really does much, but so far I've been relatively free. In addition to that, my house has a hornet's nest, a yellow jacket, I guess, not the Marvel character, nest that has infested my house. So the past few days, I've been killing massive amounts of bees and or wasps or hornets or whatever you want to call them, and I feel like a god doing it, like just spraying them all down. I know it sounds silly, but so things have been a bit crazy here, just a bit crazy, but it's all good. Other than that, just been chilling, watching a lot of The Office. That seems to be our show right now. Playing a lot of video games. I just beat Resident Evil Revelations 2 on the Switch. Taking a bit of a breather. We also beat Mega Man X1 on the Switch for the Legacy Collection. I'm going to hop back in and play X2 soon. And just waiting off until Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee come out. And, by the way, your boy's been aggressive on Let's Go. It just absolutely going to town. I'm filling out my Kanto decks pretty quickly. I was able to get all the regional exclusives for Kanto, so Mr. Mime, Kangaskhan, and your boy Farfetch, all walking. I actually got 3 Kangaskhan's, 2 Farfetches, 1 Mr. Mime. So really, of the rare Pokemon I have left to get, not counting evolution lines, is Moltres and Mewtwo. So I like this Kanto event going on. It's been fun. I know a lot of people are probably not. They're like, oh, Kanto again. But 1, I love Kanto. It's my favorite region of Pokemon. And 2, well, seeing I got back in the game only a couple of months ago, this is helping me fill out my Kanto decks pretty good. But other than that, nothing else too much going on. So with that said, we're going to go right into comics. And before we hit into comics, shout out, of course, to my patrons, Paul the Gay Comic Geek, Sammy Coppola of the Bat Brand, Michael Bennett, and Connor from OKayFabe. I appreciate all you guys. I'm working on that Nightwing timeline. In addition to that, I'm also going to be working on a suggested Batman reading, which will be on Patreon first, but I will post it on YouTube when I get a chance. And today was a big week, or this week was a big week. I got through most of my comics. The only comics I didn't get through was Raven, Darkness, Daughter of Darkness, or whatever it's called, and Batman Beyond, which I'm a couple issues behind, but got through most of everything else. And speaking of Batman, we're going to start where we always start, with just a little bit of Batman in our life, with Detective Comics 989. We're getting close to 1,000. If we keep at this pace, we're going to get it real soon. This is continuing the Firefly storyline, and they kind of basically give away who's behind it all on the cover. Two-Face gets brought into the story too. And basically Batman is trying to track down the Firefly, see exactly what's going on with these murder cases, why things are happening the way they are, and what Two-Face has really to do with any of it. Beautiful art, really good story, and it's nice to see some use of the other Batman characters, of his villains, of his rogue galleries, with Firefly, the new Firefly, who originally is from Gotham, and Two-Face, who's one of my favorite Batman villains. Solid read through and through. Pick it up. The art alone is enough of this, but the dialogue has been really on point. It's James Robinson. What can you say? Batgirl, issue number 27. This is the introduction of Batgirl's new look, which is heavily reminiscent of her New 52 origin costume. If you read Batgirl issue number 0 way back at the beginning of New 52, after the first year, you notice that she had a 0-year costume, and this was basically it. A few minor detail changes, but basically Batgirl's implant that allows her to walk, because if you remember she was paralyzed from the waist down, is malfunctioning. Grotesque, who the villain that she fought electrocuted her, causing the thing to short circuit, is causing her to have memory loss, go just dazing out, not fully being there, having seizures, just everything wrong that could happen. And what does Babs do? She says, you know what, I'm going to go after this guy. And she does. I like the art, and I generally like the concept of the story. I think Grotesque is an interesting villain for her to go up against. The only thing I really didn't like about this issue is they don't really go into extreme detail on why she's wearing this costume. She's just like, hey, look, backup costume, I'm going to wear it. I don't mind the new look. I do like the older look a little bit more. I do like the original New 52 look the best. But Batgirl, I don't really care what she looks like, to be honest. But the looks good, so I don't think this is a good jumping on point. I think you should pick up the previous few issues, but overall, decent issue. Titans issue number 26. So we're getting more of the villain there, which would be Brother Blood, Sister Blood, Queen Blood. I don't know what her name is. Basically, the Blood Cult is going out there and challenging the Titans and trying to take advantage of all these dark universes anomalies. And the Titans have to fight together in order to take them out. And we also get more of a use and introduction of some of Supergirl's supporting cast. I forget the guy's name. You have to forgive me. But the Titans team is starting to come together, and with a focal point as a villain, this story is starting to get more and more interesting. We also get to see shades of Ms. Martian's past, with her being a white Martian. Overall, solid issue. I think this is the better of the Titans issues that we've had in a while, and probably a good place to start. Silencer issue number 9. So if you remember, Silencer has had her body switch with this dude, who I forget his name is. Sorry. And basically they're going up against this magic user who is the only underboss who's still loyal to Talia. And that's basically it. Good action, great art, suspenseful. I mean, what can I say? Silencer has been pound for pound the best of the New Age of Heroes DC Metal line. If you're not reading this, pick it up. You have 8 issues to pick up and enjoying every little bit of it. So good. Terrifics, issue number 8. So this issue is them working with Tom Strong in order to get his family back. They kind of split up into groups to do so. While I am enjoying this overall, and the comic overall, this issue is nothing to write home about. It kind of is an in-between issue, setting up things for later in the story arc, but I wasn't as whelmed. Yeah, I wasn't as whelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't really whelmed. But overall, it was okay issue, but just that. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 31. This issue actually kind of disappointed me. It wasn't that it was necessarily bad, but I feel as though I had to go back and read issue 30 and see exactly what was going on. This has nothing to do with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It deals more or less with a group of the Rangers working together to deal with what Lord Drakon has gone on and all the displacements in time and reality, and some new Rangers show up that we never seen before. On the whole, wasn't too keen on this. You know what I was keen on? X-Men Red, issue number 8. My favorite of the X-Men titles. I really like this cast. I think the look of the X-Men, the costumes look really good. Storm is a badass in this, and I love her X-Men red costume, which bleeds into X-Men Gold a bit, but it's so gorgeous. And Jean Grey is a badass. Overall, best X-Men comic out, and really, really solid. Flash issue number 55. So Flash is dealing with a superpowered heat wave. And after last issue, I was hoping a little bit more of the conflict between him and Iris, about her remembering their relationship and their past together, and him not really remembering it. It would have been nice to have a little bit more of that, but it is a good issue, and I do recommend picking it up. Next is Wonder Woman issue number 55. This issue is wrapping up the story arc between her and Artemis. And if you guys all know, Artemis is an interesting and important character to the Wonder Woman mythos. She first donned the persona of Wonder Woman, the mantle of Wonder Woman, after Diana lost it to her in a contest. Artemis would eventually die, but literally crawl her way out of hell and become kind of a staple of Wonder Woman's supporting cast. She hasn't really been much of a staple of her supporting cast since the New 52. There's been little hints here and there of her and Wonder Woman, particularly in Red Hood and the Outlaws, but it isn't until this story arc that they really got more of her working with Diana. And it was amazing. From the use of the villains, Rustum, I believe you pronounce his name, Rustum, to the dynamic art, to how this story ends, and it ties back to Darkseid War in a way, is gorgeously done. Wonder Woman is in great hands with Orlando. Writing it is beautiful. Superman issue number, Action Comics issue number 1003. Basically, the new reporter, whose name escapes me at the moment, got her hands on kryptonite, and it's not good for Clark. Clark calls in Batman to help him out to get the kryptonite back. And basically, that's the gist of the issue. Well, not much goes on with this issue, and really not much does. I'm starting to really lean heavily into Bendis' Superman. It feels a lot like Jurgen's 90s Superman mixed with a bit of Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, if that even makes sense. It has a great feel to it, and I like his tone for the character. I'm enjoying the series, although not much is happening right now. So, there you go. Not just that, but beautiful art by Paquette, who I always mispronounce his name, who was on Swamp Thing and Wonder Woman 2. Just beautiful art, gorgeous through and through. So yeah, if you're a Superman fan, you'll enjoy this, but just note that there's not much that goes on. Justice League Dark. This is where shit gets real. Finally, issue number 3, things are starting to boost in the right direction. We get an introduction of a new villain called the Upside Down Man, and he's creepy as all hell. This issue does a very good job at establishing this villain as a real threat, whereas it takes not only the combined power of the Justice League Dark, but also John Constantine using a nuke weapon, which only pans out so far. Really thoroughly enjoyed this issue. This is in line for my pick of the week. Speaking of Justice League, we have Justice League Odyssey. This is showing the team led by Cyborg that has Jessica Cruz, Starfire, Azrael, and Darkseid. The art in this is gorgeous, and we have a great lineup of the team. I really do like who they picked for this. I love Azrael's new armor, and I particularly like the new look for Starfire. Darkseid, I feel kind of iffy being in there, but on the whole, I had a good time reading this, and if you want a fun Justice League story, pick it up. Doomsday Clock, issue number 7. Wow, we're only in issue number 7. It's been how long? A couple years? Not quite a couple years, but at least a year and a half. This is where things are getting interesting. We kind of see what happened to the Justice Society of America and how Dr. Manhattan changed things, and we get an actual definition of him changing the timeline. It's not just assumed, he actually does. And he shows up in this. Yay! This is setting up the climax, which is him versus Superman, which is going to be interesting as all hell. But on the whole, this was a solid issue. I think this series will pan out better in graphic novel form, which I will pick up in graphic novel form. But yeah, great read overall. Enjoyed it. And finally, Heroes in Crisis, issue number 1 of 9. So I'm not going to spoil anything, unless you guys want to go online and look it up, but a lot of people die. 2 major characters and a couple minor characters, one of which I don't believe is truly dead based off some rumors that's going on, and that person that I don't believe truly is dead, how can I reveal this without spoiling things? Is someone that goes really fast. I don't think they're really dead. I think they are, because they're kind of hinted to be in another comic. But anyways, gorgeous art. Clayman art is beautiful. I particularly like his Harley. I think it looks gorgeous. Probably one of the best Harleys I've seen in a while. But overall, just it has a very creepy, uncomfortable feeling, but in a good way, right? In that I can immerse myself into it. And it's kind of sad, too. Basically, the plot of the story is Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, after their harrowing experiences of Batman getting his back broken, Superman dying, Wonder Woman, honestly, I don't know what she had to deal with. Because I think the contest is no longer... Contest, when she lost her status against Artemis, was kind of like her Nightfall or her Death of Superman. But I don't know if it's still canon, because I don't think it is. But basically, the three of them, who have had their own traumatical experiences, create this place where superheroes and villains can kind of just check out of their bodies and kind of get themselves straight. And someone is going around and killing these superheroes. And Booster Gold and Harley Quinn are at the forefront of suspects. Solid read through and through, and I am enjoying this story. I'm curious on where it goes, and I don't think we're done with the deaths. It was tough to pick a pick of the week because Justice League Dark came so close, so very close, but I'm going to have to give it to Wonder Woman. Just pound for pound, beat for beat, it was the most balanced and well done comic this week, and I cannot be happier with the outcome of it. Really, if you're a Wonder Woman fan, this is a place to jump on. The start of the story arc was a little rough, but so far, it's been panning out beautifully. So that's my load for the week. I hope you understand I'm making this video a little quicker than usual, because I'm running out of a little time. I have to go pick up the wife, who is at her parents' house, recovering from being sick. So, yeah. With that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.